ครับทุกคนครับยินดีต้อนรับครับ Welcome back to another coding edition with Spot Skills. My name is Sunil. แล้วก็วันนี้เราจะต่อไปจากครั้งที่แล้วครับเราจะทำให้เว็บเพจนี้ทั้งหมดแต่ไม่ใช่ CSS และ HTML ทั้งสองด้วยกันครับ We're going to use a framework. วันนี้เราจะใช้ framework ผมจะแนะนำ framework BootStrap ครับตอนนี้เราเราสั่งทั้งหมดเว็บเพจนี้คล้ายๆกันนี้คล้ายๆกันข้างหลังครับแค่เห็นทั้งหมดเว็บเพจนี้และเขียนส่วนโดยส่วนข้างใน CSS และ HTML so ตอนนี้เราจะทำให้ทั้งหมดนี้ข้างใน Bootstrap Framework และครั้งที่แรกครับเราสั่งทั้งหมด HTML และเพิ่ม CSS ส่วนโดยส่วน Today we're going to take a very different approach and just do a framework called Bootstrap. So I'm going to change up this whole entire thing and actually get rid of it and move it over. So right now, tani mi index.html. So move index.html to index.html.backup and whoops to index.html.backup. And I will move my CSS style sheet to CSS style.html CSS.backup. และผมจะ touch so both of these files are no longer there ไม่อยากใช้ save นั้นไม่อยากใช้ save นั้นครับทั้งสองไฟล์ไม่มีลบกันแต่ we've got them in backup so ถ้าเกิดว่าเราอยากเห็นในอนาคตเห็นได้ครับ so I'm going to touch a new index.html and I'm going to touch a new CSS style.css file and ตอนนี้มีทั้งสองไฟล์ index.html และ style.css file และถ้าจะทำ live server cool live server ที่นี่ไม่มีอะไรข้างใน live server เพิ่ม boilerplate ของเราครับ doc type และเปลี่ยนไปนี้ untitled ถึง copy focus bootstrap และจะลบไฟล์นี้จะ comment out style sheet นั้นครับและจะลบ JavaScript and now we have our copy focus bootstrap okay ครั้งที่เด็ดผมจะแนะนำว่าBootstrap คืออะไรครับถ้าไม่เคยเห็น Bootstrap ไม่เคยใช้ Bootstrap we can go to Bootstrap BOOTSTRAP framework and this is a popular HTML CSS and JavaScript framework that we can use so I'm just going to click on the Bootstrap link I should get a build fast responsive with sites with Bootstrap go to the get link or get started link and down here let me increase the size of this. And we have our CSS section here. So one CSS, ผมจะแค่เพิ่ม CSS ครับ So let me actually, before we add anything, let me add in a navigation bar so we can see what happens. ใน navigation bar นี้ผมจะแค่มาที่นี่เพราะว่า Bootstrap มี navigation elements or items that I can use, components,เรียกว่า components that I can use in my page และ navigation bar คือหนึ่ง component ผมอยากใช้ของ web page ของเราครับและ bootstrap คือง่ายๆไม่ต้องเขียนทั้งหมด HTML นี่ครับผม copy ทั้งหมดนี้ครับ so I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to come in and I'm going to paste it and I'm just going to save it ผมแค่ save แล้วครับแล้วก็จะมี live server แล้วครับ so now what does it look like it looks really bad one second, my live server is not making changes yet. Okay, let's see if, there we go. Now I'm making changes, so change detected, cool. So ผมเห็นว่าอันนี้ดูไม่ดีครับอันนี้ดูน่าเกลียดครับทำไมไม่ดูแบบนี้ครับผมอยากใช้ดูแบบนี้เพราะว่ายังไม่เพิ่ม CSS styling ของ Bootstrap ข้างบนครับ so if I go to get started and I go to introduction ผมจะเห็นว่า link ของ CSS ที่นี้ CSS will always have ตลอดเวลาจะมี link component here. So if we scroll all the way to the very end, we have a, whoops, where is the, there it is, bootstrap.min.css. So I'm going to copy this, และจะใส่ข้างบน Control V, และ save ด้วยครับ and once it reloads,ดูดี okay, it looks much better automatically. ไม่ต้องเพิ่มโค้ดไม่ต้องทำอะไรบ้าง it just automatically changes it. There are downsides, there are negatives to this, but I will address them later and I will show properties on how to mitigate them. I'll show ways to mitigate the negatives, but for now, we're just playing around with Bootstrap. So what is all of this here? So first of all, this is the most important component, that it is the CSS link. Now this integrity just verifies that the key that I have here matches the key that I have on the other side, on the server side. So this integrity goes across, it says, hey, does this key match the key that's on the other side on the server? If it does, cool, I can use it. If not, I might have gotten a link that is corrupt and now I'm getting other things injected. So the integrity component is really good. Generally speaking, if you just copy it from this link, that will be okay and sufficient enough to be able to use CSS safely. Okay, now we have this drop down. ผมคลิก drop down แต่ไม่มีเกิดอะไรครับแต่ถ้าเกิดว่าผมจะกลับไป nav bar อันนี้ component เลยคลิก nav bar drop down ทีนี้ hey, that drops down. I have some action happening here. And if I zoom in, well, this changes to a what's called hamburger menu. เปลี่ยนไปที่ hamburger menu. So why is that not happening for me? So I zoom in, but I don't get the link. I'm clicking, but nothing's happening. ทำไมครับเพราะว่า Bootstrap ใช้ JavaScript ด้วยครับ So we have to also include the JavaScript bundle และทีนี้ครับ JavaScript files will always ตลอดเวลาจะใช้ script tag. So copy นี้และใน convention JavaScript ควรไปข้างบนCSS links. So it should be script tags should come first. Script tags above, or sorry, below the title and above CSS. CSS tags or CSS link / CSS tags should come after script / JavaScript tags. So this is the order that we should have. So it should be script and then it should be link. And we can go to copy focus. And now we have a menu that drops down and a menu that drops down. It's also responsive as well. All right, very cool. Now we have both of those working in conjunction with each other. Now we can also change it up where we have it be fluid. So we have developer tools and we have this element where it is now automatically responsive. It automatically responds to different sizes of our web page. That's pretty cool. So if we want to make it a little bit smaller, it's too tight up at the top, we can change our container fluid to a regular container. I personally like a regular container because it gives me more space on the sides. It's better for my eyes because I like that gutter width or that side width. Cool. But what I'm going to do is actually change ผมจะเปลี่ยนไป navbar ถึง navbar อื่นๆครับเพราะว่าไม่ชอบ search bar ข้างๆครับผมชอบ simple ครับผมอยากใช้ navbar นี้ครับแล้วแต่คุณครับใช้ navbar อะไรก็ได้ครับ but I'm going to use this one. It's a little bit more compact, a little bit simpler to use, and I'm going to paste this in here. It's not as bulky, much smaller. Okay, cool. And I'm going to change this again to container. Now the navbar itself comes in two colors. This is background light. I can change this to background dark. And if I change that to background dark, the text changes to very, very light. Now light on light does not work. So the navbar itself, dark, changes the text to white. And therefore I'd want to change the background to dark itself. That looks better to me. So up to you. แล้วแต่คุณครับถ้าเกิดว่าอยากเปลี่ยนไปนี้ใช้ได้ครับ In the future, I will show you how to arrange these elements and make them more custom, but that's a little more advanced and a little more complicated. For now, I just want to introduce you to how to get this type of look and feel going on here. And in our navbar, what we're going to do is เปลี่ยนไป navbar ถึง image ครับ So in my image, I'm going to do a showcase nav logo. And in my image, I'm going to do a source. And here is images/logo.png. And now we have our focus image. แต่ขณะนี้ใหญ่เกินไปครับ So that is where I have to bring in my other style sheet. So this is where I can customize this particular image. So I'm going to copy that, and simply I'm going to copy in, paste, and I'm going to say width of 30%, and we'll see what that looks like. Whoops. That should do it. There we go. So now width of 20%, 30% was still a bit too big, and now focus is off to the side, and it is good. So we can add in some margin left and make it 50 pixels and see what that looks like. That should move it over to the side a little bit more. Maybe 30 pixels is more appropriate, and there we go. So now when we look at it in this form, looks good, and it's still in line. So perfect. Okay, so one thing I do want to do is maybe make my container a little bit smaller, but that's up to you. We can change that in the future as well, but for now, we'll leave it as is, and I'll get rid of the margin 30 pixels and keep the width at 20%. Perfect. So now we have everything in line. Okay, so this focus section is done. We can change up the links. Begin by link diagram. So here we want to go to Showcase. Here, our features, we want to have this be the About section, and this will be the About href. And then we go to, whoops, I need the hashtag there. Hashtag here. And then we have our services. And hashtag services. And hashtag, this will be, I don't want this to be disabled, but ARIA disabled is, we can get rid of this because it won't be disabled. This will be my contact, and this will be just a regular link. And we can get rid of the tab index, and this will be a contact. And now when we expand, we have home, about, services, and contact, and all of them show up normal. Cool. I'm going to make this a little bit wider. Therefore, we can see our links much nicer. Okay, ต่อไป, now we can work on our showcase section. So I'm going to increase the height of this real quick. There we go. And we can do our showcase, about, services, and our contact, and our footer. Cool. So in our showcase section, we're just going to put this in really simple just to get the background going. And then later on, we'll work on the columns and everything, but I just want to get the background in so we know what that looks like. And so what we're going to do, section, showcase. And in our section showcase, I am going to just pop in our basic elements of text. And we've got a showcase, whoops, a div of showcase text, showcase content, and we've got our two sections, showcase content or showcase text. Whoops. And we have our div.showcase image. So image, this will be images/woofer.png. And here we'll have div.showcase, h1.showcase title. And I'm also going to add in a title tag here as well. And here we'll have unlimited web hosting. And below, Panglang ke paragraph showcase para. And I will add in a para tag here as well. And we can just copy this text. Copy the sai kangnai. All right, we'll see what that looks like. And we have both of these images here. Perfect. I am not going to add in the, oh, actually I can add in the buttons as well. So we can add in button.btn for button. actually I will do that in a moment, but showcase button get started, and this will be get started, and this will be the contact us. Contact us. And I'm also going to put in the button keyword here if I want to make custom buttons, and the button keyword here for custom buttons. Okay. และข้างหลังทางหมดนี้ครับ I'm going to add in the div.search or showcase search. And inside here, we've got the form. And I will add in an input. Type is text. Placeholder. Enter domain name here. And I'm going to put another button down below. And we'll call this showcase search button. So we'll see what that looks like. We've got our unlimited web hosting, 2 buttons up here, and we've got our enter domain name and search down below. The arrangement looks horrible. Does not look good right now. แต่แค่อยากแสดงว่าแค่ใช้ showcase adding in background images. And before we do that, one thing I'm going to do real quick is margin 0 for all elements, and padding 0 for all elements, and box sizing, border box. And that doesn't really change a whole lot, but it just ensures that we have proper box sizing as we go through, so we don't have to think about it. And now for my showcase background, one thing I want to do is also notice how I have this content. Before we change up the background of the content, I might want to have this navbar stay up at the top and float down with me. แล้วแต่คุณครับ so ถ้าเกิดว่าอยากทำแบบนั้น we can add in what is called a sticky top. Sticky top. And now when I float down or scroll down, the focus menu bar stays with the page. It does not stay only at the top and go away. Now when people scroll, they can easily come back and come to this menu up here, no problem, and scroll down as they need to. So up to you. If you want to have it there, you can. If you don't, no worries. All right. So with that, I'm going to finally, as a final thing here, just add in a showcase background URL /images/banner.png, and I'll do a no repeat and a background size of a cover. And that gets me my images for the background. And I can see that as I go through and see it on different screen sizes. It automatically adjusts. I can change this around if I want to, but for now, I see that I can have these menu items be dynamic on the page, and I can also scroll up and down, and that menu bar stays. So for now, I'll leave it here. We'll customize it in the next lesson, and we'll focus on this section, and I'll introduce grid columns within BootStrap, because that one gets a little complicated and a little confusing. แต่วันนี้แค่อยากแสดงว่าใช้ BootStrap อย่างไรครับ เพิ่ม BootStrap JavaScript อย่างไรครับ เพิ่ม BootStrap Link อย่างไรครับ และ BootStrap Component ใช้อย่างไรด้วยครับ แล้วก็ถ้าเกิดว่าเราเพิ่มข้างในเพจของเราครับ จะใช้ element ใน showcase ใช้อย่างไรครับ เราจะต่อไปเราจะ continue next time แล้วก็แสดงว่าครั้งหน้าครับ so ถ้าเกิดว่ามีคำถามเขียนบนคอมเมนต์ข้างใน YouTube หรือ Facebook ได้ครับถ้าเกิดว่ามีแนะนำอยากเรียนเรื่องไหมครับจะเขียนบนคอมเมนต์ Facebook หรือคอมเมนต์ YouTube ครับแล้วก็เราจะเจอกันครั้งหน้าครับ thank you bye